Due to a number of requests for a livery evolution video, we've decided to give it a go, starting with British Airways. First off, a special thanks to Richard Stretton of Yesterday's Airlines for providing us with some valuable information and imagery. The link to his website is in the description. As you may have already known, British Airways was formed through the merger of BOAC, BEA, NEA and Cambrian. For quite a few years after the official merger, many of the aircraft kept their old colours and applied British Airways title. Then in 1974, the fleet was given a fresh look designed by firm Negus & Negus. British Airways describes it as a modern and fresh design was based on the British national colours of red, white and blue. It featured a streamlined evolution, the BOAC and BEA insignia by way of a quartered Union flag with a red tip on the tail fin and the Speedbird symbol on the nose. At the beginning of the 1980s, BA dropped the Airways from its livery in favour of just the word British enlarged. An interesting fact is that the Concorde always wore a modified Negus and later Landor scheme, which excluded a dark blue belly. This was to avoid heat issues at high speed. In late 1984, BA experimented with a silver-topped version of the Negus scheme on a 737-200. Designed by the famous house designer Landor Associates, an updated scheme was unveiled in December 1984. It was quite similar to the Negus scheme, but the white roof was replaced with pearl grey and the belly replaced with midnight blue. The Speedbird was replaced with a brilliant red speed wing running along the lower fuselage. The title font was also changed and capitalised. On the tail, the quartered Union flag was carried over from the previous Negus livery, and its very own coat of arms was placed over the midnight blue as a touch of class. Then in 1996, some of the BA fleet began appearing with an odd lowered lighter blue belly without the speed wing. While the tail remained in the Landor scheme, the changes seemed to indicate that BA was preparing for a new livery and was unwilling to repaint aircraft into the old Landor scheme. This interim design appeared on several 737s, 747s, 767s and A320s. In 1997, British Airways unveiled its new World Images livery, designed to completely replace the Landor livery across the airline. Given the name Project Utopia, the livery intended to reflect the best of British values blended with the nation's more modern attributes. The airline described it as friendly, youthful, diverse and cosmopolitan, open to many cultures. At the heart of the livery change were 50 images representing examples of ethnic art from across the world. As for the fuselage, the pearl grey upper was replaced with a bright white and the blue belly was lowered and lightened. A new Speedmark logo was added on the upper fuselage and the titles moved under the window line. One of the 1997 Project Utopia tails, known also as Chatham Dockyard, was initially applied only to the Concorde. However, it became the standard BA tail livery after phasing out all other Utopia tails. The design was based upon a stylised Union flag as flown by English Naval Commander Lord Nelson, whose fleet was based at the historic Chatham Royal Dockyard. This remains as the airline's most current livery. From 2000 to 2011, the tail flag was enlarged and raised higher on the tail. The title United Kingdom was removed from the rear of the fuselage. In 2011, a new To Fly to Serve crest was added next to titles, and this design has remained ever since. In 2012, British Airways repainted 9 A319s with a dove designed to mark the London 2012 Olympics. Additionally, British Airways created a special yellow, orange and gold livery for the aircraft that transported the Olympic flame from Athens to London, named the Firefly. It should also be noted that the airline also has a special One World design for some of its 747-400s. In early 2019, BA unveiled 4 special retro liveries to mark its centenary. The 4 designs were BOAC, BEA, Negus and Landor. While the BEA design was painted on an Airbus A319, the other 3 designs were applied to Boeing 747-400s. What's your favourite BA livery? And if we do this type of video again, what airline would you like to see next? Let us know in the comments. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the Simple Flying channel and be sure to click the notification bell.